Hi viewers, this is TV Asia and I am your host Abdul Moiz for the night. Welcome to the show. Do you know? Today our topic is tax saving strategies. We have an amazing person with us today who deals in personal insurance, property, retiring planning advice. He's an expert in his area and his company Insures Time have helped many individuals by passing tax saving strategies on to them and to make the most out of their money. We welcome Mr. Shahid Mohammed to the show. Hello sir, how are you?
First of all, I'd like to make a disclaimer that Insurance Time is part of Community Broker Network, they're steadfast brokers, and also a part of Australian Mortgage and Financial Services Group. Financial planning is all about helping individuals where we develop strategies to help them create wealth, and not only creating wealth, but also strategize to protect that wealth. Now, that comes whether it's investment strategy, whether it comes to superannuation, your retirement planning, debt consolidation. So there are so many factors we look at it.
Amazing. Yeah, I understand. So do you think it is important for everybody to engage in financial planning?
When you say engaging in financial planning, I believe so in Australia.
Yeah.
Financial planning, I mean, if you look at, everyone has sort of financial obligations. Everyone has a young
That is
family.
correct, yeah.
They have to retire one day. And they also have to consider that there are always adversities in life. And if any adversity hits, what will happen to their financial well-being? They need to protect it. So yes, answer to your question, absolutely. This is for every individual. Requires it. Most of the individuals, they seek ongoing service because our financial needs change with time. Our circumstances change with time. Someone may have high debts now, and they have higher mortgage, and it may be different in 5-10 years time. Some may have the children going to school now, and tomorrow they'll be going to university, so their circumstances would be different. So it is an ongoing strategy, yes.
Agree with you. Depends on the personal circumstances of people. So it's up to them how they should do it, definitely. And just moving on with questions, how would an investor know that one financial planner is acting in their best interest? Like, what are the major, you would say, tips that, or any advice that they would give?
I'm glad you asked that question. That's very good question, actually. In Australia, financial services are highly regulated. We have disclosure documents. We have a statement of advice that could consist of 30 to 40 pages. We have to document our advice in the document, and on the basis that advice was developed. So when we form our advice, we basically look at your needs, your financial objectives, and your financial situation as well. And then we work with your objectives, whatever your goals are. And according to your goals, we come up with a strategy which helps you to achieve your goals. Now, if it is in your best interest, we have to. If our regulators, they do audit on us regularly, and when they go through that statement of advice, that advice document, and they can pick up if we have not acted in a client's best interest. So we do have to provide advice which is appropriate to your relevant circumstances. we have to look at your interests first, not only your short-term interests, but also looking at your long-term interests. When we give you strategy, it may not be only financial services related strategy. It could not be a financial product. It may be non-financial services, such as someone is seeking help in debt consolidations. I mean, they have credit cards up to their neck. They need help with the cash flow. They need help with the budgeting. They need help with the saving for their children schooling. We also help them with estate planning. People, they know what will is, what power of attorney is, but perhaps we overlook it. We don't consider it. It is very important factor. So if there's any area where we are not specialized, where we are not qualified, then we have a referral partners, and we do refer you guys to someone who specializes in this field. Similarly, it depends at what age bracket you are in. If you are reaching 50 or 55, you may like retirement planning. You may be thinking about your Centrelink benefits when you retire. So yes, so there are a lot of compliance documents we have to go through. So advice is always in the best interest of the client.
Right, that's good to hear that there's a regulatory body that oversees financial planners, and if there's not something that, if a financial planner is not acting the best interest of a client, so that gets audited. Is there any reason that triggers an audit?
Sorry, say again?
Is there any specific reason that would trigger an audit?
They do regular audit. Most of the time, I mean, we do get externally audited. We have an internally audit team. If it's a first off, they will give you feedback. They'll come back with the training. But if it's a repetitive mistake, then of course they have to report to ASIC. The other reason we get audited, if any client complains, they believe that advice we have given is not in their best interest. Right. So there could be different factors, yes, which trigger auditing.
Yes, I totally agree that there can be many factors, especially in your industry, because there's so much going on and at a very fast pace. We have a question from an audience here, and someone has said, why cannot an individual plan by themselves? Where is the need of a financial planner comes in?
Well, I mean, anybody can spend time, invest time in research, in education. I mean, they can do that. There's not no reason why they can't do it. But I mean, do they have time? Do they have energy to go and do education and find out the best advisors in the market? Do they have access to those systems and those platforms? Similarly, you go to a doctor, you go to a general practitioner, and if they can't help you, they will refer you to a specialist. You know, someone says, well, why can't I go and get this medication? A lot of things you can't help yourself. You have to go through the proper channel. So if someone wants to, it depends what sort of help they require. Yes, absolutely, they can do that. But of course, professionals are there for a reason.
Yes, they're definitely there for a reason. And I think you would also need all the expertise that the financial planner already have for you to be able to go and plan your all investments or your financial planning. So therefore, I think a financial planner that comes in, you know, just minimizes that gap, and you can just go straight to him and he can deal with it because he has all the knowledge and all the strategies. He's got experience, been in the industries such as Mr. Shahid Muhammad. So yeah, that's definitely recommended financial planner. A little bit more diving into the topic. What is the most critical advice that one can seek from a financial planner, or what's your critical tip that you would give your clients?
Well, I mean, as I said earlier, financial planning is not one topic. It depends on individuals' needs and the goals. I mean, where they need help. Where we find most of retail clients, they need help in tax saving strategies, their super investment, We have a client, they have multiple super funds, they're paying multiple fees, and they have no clue. We help them to consolidate their funds into one super. We help them to find a fund which is better managed, where there's a low fees. So whatever strategy we do provide, as I said, it is in the best interest of the client. And when we finish, when they read our statement advice and provided they follow statement advice, our aim is that they are in better financial position where they were before receiving our advice. The other area, people, they look advice on their wealth protection side. It comes to looking at life insurance, whether it is protecting their income. I mean, that's a very critical factor for everyone's life. Just imagine some adversity hits and your income stops. And God knows, it could be a few months.
Yes, totally.
Weeks, it could be for a lifetime. What would happen to your financial situation? What would happen to your family? What would happen to your the life you're enjoying? So a lot of our clients, they seek advice on how to protect their wealth, how to protect their family, how to protect their income.
Right, I totally agree with this because you can never know, anything can happen. So lifetime insurance is a big thing, and super these days is a big thing as well, because you want to know where your money is working the best for you. Therefore, you can make the most out of it. One more question we got from the audience is, I know you said it depends on the individual circumstances, but it says that where do investments come in financial planning? Like, is there a specific age? I know that you depend on the person's circumstances, but is there an ideal age or an ideal, let's say you have an ideal cash liquidity you have in bank account that you should start investing?
Well, I mean, sooner the better. The minute you start working, your employer, they do a guaranteed contribution to your super. The younger you are, the better premium you're locked in. You are in good health. As you get older, if there's any complication in health, insurance company can double, triple your premium. You may not be eligible to acquire the required level of insurances, whether it's income protection or life insurance. Similarly, if you act early, you get your super fund sorted, make sure that you are in the right super fund, you are paying the right fees, and then we help you with the tax saving strategies. And to be honest, super is the most effective tax saving tool in Australia. So where you can, and you can invest a little bit further, sacrifice your salary, and it gives you a tremendous return over long run. Yeah, it is amazing when we show people figures. Okay, if they increase their investment by fraction, how it would help in 10 years time, in 20 years time, at the time of the retirement. Not only that, say for example, you're a 20-year-old, a 25-year-old, you have just started a job, you come and sit with us, you tell us, okay, at the time of retirement, that's the income I require, and we plan for you, and you may have to contribute a little bit more. We make sure when you retire, you achieve that objective. So yeah, absolutely, the sooner the better.
Yes, exactly. Sooner the better, as you said. Definitely, when you're retiring, you want to have that aim. You want to have a goal. You know, how much money you want to have. Because if you're not going to financially plan your retirement, it's going to get you in trouble. And it can be very hard managing life, especially being inflation at 7% now. So, yeah, I totally agree with Dr. Shahid Mohammed.
I'd just like to say one more thing.
Yes.
Your
please.
most important asset is your income.
Right.
And the minute you start earning income, that is your most important investment as well. So you have to invest on yourself before you invest anywhere else. Now, how you can invest on yourself? Protect your income. That's important. And when you have a family, protect your family. When you buy a home, protect your mortgage. And it goes with the time.
Exactly. And that being said, I've got one more question on that. Is, do you think, as you said, you need to protect your income, let's say, do you think it's good to have more than one income, so it's like more protected? Basically, the minute you start earning, it's just more coming in. Let's say if you lose one job, you have another one. What are your thoughts on multiple streams of income?
Well, income protection basically is a financial help in the event of you have an accident or you fall sick, including mental health, and you're unable to earn income. So it doesn't matter when insurance companies look at your last 12 months income and they calculate based on that. So the maximum you get is 70% of your last year's taxable income, and that can cover you for different time frame. So they can cover you up till the age of 65 or 70. So say, for example, you're 25 years of age, you're playing football, or you are riding a motorbike, you're driving in a car, an accident happens, and God forbid, what if that incapacitates you for longer term? You need income for longer term. Yes, Centrelink benefits are there, but what about your lifestyle? What about the other things? So it is your taxable income where insurance companies, they look at your total income and they pay you claim based on that.
Beautifully explained that by Mr. Shahid Mohammed. Let's say, and you've spoken about super being the best investment you can make, the best tax-free investment you can make. But let's say if you have a liquid cash, what is the best investment you can make then in order to save tax and make the most amount of your money? What asset would that might be?
Well, once again, I mean, that's difficult to answer that question. It depends on your circumstances.
Right.
As I said, when we meet with the client first time, it can go from somewhere from 1.5 to 2 hours, and there could be multiple meetings before we really come to know what your objective is. What do you want? It's not only short-term objective, what your long-term objective is. And then that's the base where we develop our strategies to help you to achieve your goals. So answering to your question, I don't know until I sit with the individual and find out what they want.
I see. No, that's all right, because we have some questions coming from the audience, so maybe they're just coming in right now, so they don't know. Moving on to the next question. Do you think it's expensive to have financial planning services in Australia?
It depends on the strategies, how many strategies you require. So if you come and you say you need full advice, that means we're looking at your insurances, we're looking at your super, we're looking at your debt consolidation, we're looking at your retirement planning. So your fee depends on the strategies we develop for you and the time we spend in developing those strategies. Where more fees, I mean, financial services industry is very competitive, you know. There's not really much variance. One financial planner charges higher, the other one not. No, we have to charge fees which is fair and value for money. As I said earlier, we are highly regulated, so we have to be very careful that we do charge fees within those required brackets. So it depends on the strategies we develop for you. No, it's in other words, no, it's very affordable. It's not very expensive.
Yes, and I think it will be more expensive to not have a financial planner in an event of an emergency or, you know, in any unfortunate circumstances. So yes, I totally agree with you that it's not expensive to have a financial planner. It's better to be safe than sorry. So financial planning is almost everyone's requirement, as you said. But why is it not so common in Australia?
Well, it is very common in Australia. I mean, in Australia, every Australian you talk to, they do use financial planners. And the trend is getting higher because audience confidence since this Royal Commission and because becoming highly regulated industry, people, they have started believing more in financial services industry. They are seeking advice from financial planner. They have started trusting in financial planning. So most of the Australians, they do see financial planners. Yes, I would say if you're talking about the community, why they are not seeking financial planning. Most of
Yes,
communities, they do. Then again, depend, I mean, what exposure you have. I mean, if I'm a newly immigrant to Australia, I may not be exposed what financial services are unless
yeah,
they come across, they sit with someone, we explain to them, and then they say, yeah. You know, a famous saying in the insurance industry, we say there are two types people that think about protecting their income or protecting their financial obligations. Once, when something happens, then we'll think, oh gosh, I should have that. If they're sitting in an environment where someone is talking about insurances and explaining what are the benefits, then they start looking at it. But otherwise, no, it's very common in Australia.
yes, I totally agree. I think my main point that you have answered was the community itself. And I think, just you said, by educating the community, talking with them about the benefits of financial planning would definitely increase that trend in our communities as well. And which is a very good thing because ultimately we want our community to be safe, have that income protection for themselves as well. Um, Thank you so much for that. At the end, can you tell us a bit more about insurances in Australia?
Well, insurance is a very wide subject. I
It
mean,
is indeed.
everything we have, we do have insurance. We're going to protect ourselves. We're going to protect our property. We're going to protect our children. So I think we should leave it for another time for talking about insurances. I mean, I have briefly touched on personal insurance, uh, the need for life insurance, need for income protection, need for total disability, need for critical illness, um, business expense cover. That's the personal side. Then on the other side, you have a business insurance, people who are entrepreneurs. We have home and content insurance, you have vehicle insurance, we have cyber insurance, there's multiple insurances. Um, Again, it depends what your requirement is.
Last topic that you can only cover so much in just a matter of time, but just especially with your expertise, like you're an expert in your area, so it can be really difficult to condense all that information in a very short session of our time. But at the end, I just want to recap the whole situation. What we spoke about is financial main points being financial planning is important for everyone, and it is expensive not to have it rather than having financial planning. And we should also increase the trend of financial planning in our communities. Talk about them, tell them about the benefits of it, and basically save your income. And I think that's it for today. We thank you so much for your precious time, Mr. Shahid Mohammed. And I'm your host, Abdul Moiz, with TV Asia. See you later. Thank you.
Player.